It's a very steamy movie for the
It's
ladies.
a very steamy, it's raunchy, it's spicy. Oh my goodness.
What's up, guys? My name's Ed, this is Marissa, and this is Distant Critics. Wait, do you feel that?
What?
Love is in the air. That's what I'm feeling. That's right. We're talking about the top 5 romantic films of all time. I got you there, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
And when we're talking about romantic films, we're talking about rom-coms, we're talking about romantic drama, whatever you guys want to, I don't know, say is a romantic film, that's going to be in this list. As always, it's going to be a draft format. So that means, Marissa, if you pick a movie, I can't have that for my list, and we'll go back and forth, vice versa, till we get our top 5. And as always, ladies first.
Okay, so my first movie, that was actually really good, by the way. I really thought that we were having like a malfunction or something. But anyways, my first movie, you can see it in the stars.
Oh, gosh.
In our stars.
Oh, okay. Oh, gosh.
What movie did you think I was
don't know.
say?
I was like, hold on. Hopefully, I don't know. But that's a good one, because I had that on my list. It just is my runner-up, but it's a good one.
Oh, thank goodness. Fault in Our Stars is my all-time favorite romance movie. I'm making sure that I do different movies every single time we do a draft, so you won't see me pick same movies back to back or anything like that. So that's why I didn't choose 50 First Dates or anything like that, even though that's my all-time favorite movie. Fault in Our Stars, Shailene Woodley and Ansel Elgort play Hazel Grace Lancaster and Augustus Water to the extreme. Like, they bring this movie out. Basically, Hazel Grace Lancaster has cancer. Augustus also had cancer. He was in remission. And they meet at a cancer support group. And then their love kind of just blossoms from there. Great movie. It's beautifully sad, if that makes sense.
Yes.
It's beautifully sad. Like I said, the relationship it started off as she not wanting him, that they were just going to be friends, and then it ended up going into something more, which happens to so many people, because in the beginning of my relationship with my husband, I only wanted just to be friends, stuff like that, and I didn't really want him like that. Sorry, babe, love you.
Shout out Kenya.
So and then it turned into something more, which is beautiful, and now we're married and stuff like that. So same with their relationship. I won't give it away what happens at the end or anything like that, but this movie is just absolutely beautiful, absolutely sad. Big, huge, tug on your heartstring movie.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree. Fault in Our Stars. This is during a time where we're coming out in high school, and both of these actors were like at the top of their game. So, The Fault in Our Stars, originally a novel, it was a beautiful adaptation to this big screen. I really like that pick a lot. It was just off of my list, but that's a good one. That's a good one to start with. For my number one pick, I'm gonna go pretty big with this one, honestly, and I'm going Titanic.
Okay, the Titanic.
I honestly, I figured you probably wouldn't have that on your list.
No.
Yeah, I understand, but yeah, everyone knows the story about the Titanic, the boat and all that stuff sinking, but I thought it was so clever for James Cameron to use the elements of the Titanic and introduce that into the story as well with these characters. This was the number one most grossing film of all time before superhero films were actually a thing, and that says a lot because back then tickets were much less expensive, so they sold a lot of tickets, and enough can't be said about this film. The cast is amazing. The soundtrack, Celine Dion. I always get in my feels every time I see this. I just recently had an opportunity to see it in the movies for the first time because I was just too young at that time, and it's such an incredible experience when you see it.
It's another beautifully sad movie.
Yes, though my one gripe about the film is that DiCaprio could have been on that door as well. He could have fit.
He could have fit. He could have fit. They, the researchers out there, they be showing the door and stuff like that, and
He
showing
could
how
have
they
fit.
both bodies could have fit and stuff. So
But yep,
she could have held him up a little bit, but whatever, that's fine.
that's my number one though.
Okay, so great number one. I think we both have really good number ones. My second one, you're probably not gonna know because it's an anime.
Okay.
So this one you have to watch if you haven't seen it, and it's called Your Name.
I've actually heard of that one.
You've heard of it?
Yes. But tell me
so,
about it.
So Your Name is about two people, a male and a female, right? And they switch intermittently between each other's bodies. So they keep swapping each other, being each other and whatnot. And they didn't even know, right? So they're trying to communicate to each other through phone messages and find each other and with notes and stuff. So when they switch back to each other's bodies, they see these notes that they're communicating with each other. Turns out they're actually 3 years apart from past and future. So they're not even in the same year, right? More happens in this story that I don't want to give away because it's just, when I tell you, this film is so beautiful. Like, the soundtrack is beautiful, the visuals are beautiful, the love story behind this and how they try to get to know each other and communicate to each other and try to find each other, and how he saves her and stuff like that. Like, it's just absolutely beautiful. And I just think that this movie has such emotional depth to it that everyone should watch this movie. And especially if you don't like anime, I think this is a really good film to maybe start trying your anime to see if you like it, because like I said, it has a good soundtrack, it has good visuals, it has good storyline, anything like that. So I think you should give this a try if you haven't seen it. It's very romantic, it's very cute, and it definitely, the ending will leave your jaw dropped to the floor.
Oh man, that actually does sound good. I'm gonna give it a shot. You've been getting me into anime, and one thing I do like about anime is that the sky's the limits. There's nothing that they can't do they can do whatever they want in anime, and I can only imagine how far they stretch those imaginations throughout that film. So good choice. I really like that. Out of the box with the animation film as well.
Thank you.
I'm gonna go with my second pick and choose A Walk to Remember.
A Walk to Remember.
No way,
with
Mandy Moore.
Yes. Oh, that is such a good one.
Thank you. I was like, you better have seen this movie. I love Mandy Moore. Mandy Moore. You know what? My wife is watching this, but I love Mandy Moore. She's an incredible person in real life, and she's just as humble of a person and a character in this film as well. Also, this film is based off Nicholas Sparks's novel, and we all know he's like the love guru when it comes to novels and stuff like that and film adaptations. But yeah, for those who haven't seen it, please go check it out. The movie follows her and Shane West's character. He's kind of like that cool bad kid that gets in trouble all the time, but ends up having to perform community service. That has a ripple effect and forces him to hang out with the weird Christian girl from school, and before he knows it, he's falling in love with her. I think this is a classic. There is a twist to this film that's really the main driving force of the film, so I won't spoil that for you. But through these two teenagers, you find out about love, you find out about hope, and you find out with faith and love, the long journey is not impossible to conquer. Super strong messages through this film. I love this film every single time I watch it, and I can watch it over and over and over. I love Mandy Moore.
You know what you sounded like? You sounded like we were like a judge and lawyers. It sounded like you were just trying to like prove your point right now, and you're like, at the end of it, I love Mandy Moore.
Yes. That's a mic drop.
Yes. Wow, that's a good one. It's been so long since I've seen that one, so I definitely got to go check that one out again, just so I can like refresh my memory and stuff like that. But that is a really good pick.
Her voice is angelic.
It is. It really is.
Yeah. But
She got that main song in there.
yeah, I don't want to sing it, but I know it every word. Anyways, let's hear your third pick.
Okay, so my third pick is a romance fantasy, and it is. Can you guess?
Edward Scissorhands?
Edward Scissorhands.
Oh, wow. That is good.
Edward Scissorhands. So a creator created him, and he lived up in top of like a castle or something like that. The creator ends up dying and doesn't even get to finish Edward, so he ends up being stuck with Metal Scissorhands. A woman named Peg, I believe it is, Peg, takes him in, and he ends up falling in love with her teenage daughter, and their story just kind of goes from there, blossoms from there and whatnot. Edward Scissorhands is such a great movie to watch, even when you're a little bit younger. It may be scary for like too young, you know what I mean, because it may be a little scary.
Has those goth vibes to it.
Yeah, it has those goth vibes to it. The one thing why I love Edward Scissorhands is because I absolutely love Tim Burton films. Like, Tim Burton and his imagination and his style that he directs and creates and whatnot is phenomenal to me. Like, Corpse Bride, Frankenweenie, Nightmare Before Christmas, all of those movies. And then Johnny Depp, of course, is also amazing. He's an OG for me. Maybe we should do a
that's actually a really good one
for him.
Okay.
Yeah. So I just think overall Edward Scissorhands is up there for me, my number 3.
I love that film. It's a classic as well. Tim Burton, that's the top of top Tim Burton when he's at his peak. And he's coming out with Beetlejuice later next month. So stick around for that review as well. But yeah, I love that, and I love everything about this film. It's a really good pick as your third. I'm gonna go another route with it, and I'm gonna say The Vow.
It's been a while. I don't think I remember The Vow.
Perfect, because I'm going to explain it. So,
okay, go ahead.
So, The Vow was inspired by true events starring Channing Tatum and Rachel McAdams as the lead. Basically, they're a married couple. Life is perfect. They're the happiest, loving people that could ever be loved, and yada yada. And then, bam, a car crash happens, and it leaves Rachel McAdams' character in a coma. And when she wakes up, she has no memory of her husband at all. So, the entire movie, basically, Channing Tatum is trying to fight for his love and get her to fall in love with him again, if not regain her memory of him in the past. I won't ruin the ending, but it's a very captivating story that you have them rooting for them the entire time. I feel like Tatum and McAdams have great chemistry in this film, and this is during the time where they're like, both of them are at the peak level of their acting careers. So when the accident scene happens too, it always gets me because like it just comes out of nowhere. And I just couldn't imagine like if I got in an accident with my wife and she just couldn't remember me. Like that's deep. And just that topic alone, I felt like a lot of people could give in certain situations, but the dude fought for his love. He fought for his wife, and I think that would be something I would do. So I resonate with this film, even though I've never been through the situation. But if I did, that's what I would do. And that's why this is my third film.
It's definitely one of those films where it's like, you're going to have to put yourself in that situation and you think whether you're going to give up or you're going to continue to fight too. And you know what else that movie reminds me of? It's another movie, and it's like my all-time favorite movie in the whole entire world.
What is it?
51st Dates!
Exactly, yep.
That's what it makes me think of. So yeah, that's a good pick. That's a good like romance film, no matter what kind of movie it is. Just that storyline of, have like someone forgetting because of an accident, or even like what is it, like dementia and stuff like that. this happens like every
It's
day
tough.
to people.
But anyways, number 4. Let's go with number 4. What's your pick?
So my number 4 movie is going to be a little shaking, a little moving, a little dancing. Not clean dancing, but
Dirty Dancing. Okay. Nice.
Patrick Swayze, mwah, beautiful. Okay, R.I.P. Big time.
Big time. R.I.P.
And Jennifer Grey are just delectable treats in this film. For anyone that doesn't know about this film, so in 1963, Frances Baby Houseman, a daddy's girl, goes to a resort in upstate New York. Baby becomes infatuated with the camp counselor or the camp dance instructor, a man whose background is vastly different from her own. Baby ends up lying to her father, gets money to help out Johnny Castle's original dance partner for something, and then she ends up becoming his dance partner. And then their love just kind of blossoms through dancing, through the art of dancing and stuff like that. So I just think that Jennifer Grey and Patrick Swayze just had amazing chemistry on screen. And it really, when he passed away, it really hit her. And she says that in interviews and stuff like that. So you can tell not only did they have chemistry on screen, but they had chemistry off screen. And whether that was friendship, relationship, whatnot. Overall, the movie just has such sentimental value to it. It's amazing to watch. It's amazing to see that whole type of artwork, you know, because I see dancers out there, and just seeing how they connect emotionally through their dance is absolutely phenomenal. It's such a beautiful art to see. And I also seen Dirty Dancing on Broadway, and it was, mwah, yes, it was beautiful. So overall, this film just really gets to you, and the love story and stuff like that is just fantastic. Broadway and on screen.
Wonderful pick. I love that film. Such a classic. The soundtrack is amazing as well. And yeah, that was on my list, and I don't like you for picking that. So
it was on your list?
Yes, and I have to pivot real quick. So, okay, so I'm gonna go a different route because you took that one. And I don't think you've seen this film actually, but it's called the movie's called Her.
Oh no, I haven't seen it.
Right, and it's a little bit of a weird concept, and I just recently watched it for the first time. When it came out, it was nominated for an Oscar for Best Picture as well. But basically, this rated R film is about Joaquin Phoenix's character going through a breakup, and he's a little bit lonely at the moment. And he starts to have this relationship with this like AI system that's meant to just fulfill all his needs. For once in his life, he feels important to someone, and he feels heard. So he goes through the movie and starts to legit have this relationship with this AI system. Scarlett Johansson is the one who voices it over. The movie is about finding yourself, and although it's a weird concept, the unique relationship with him and the AI is actually a beautiful story that, for me, I just couldn't stop smiling through the entire film, just because like you can see how happy he gets through it. So I think this is one you should definitely watch when you have a chance, and if you guys have seen it as well or haven't seen it, definitely check it out. I think it'll surprise you, because it definitely surprised me.
It does sound a little like off-putting a little bit,
is.
But I guess the way that you describe it, okay, I guess I might give it a try.
Definitely do. So for your 5th and final pick, please tell me what is going to round out your top 5 romantic films of all time list.
I wish I had some sunglasses right now so I can be like, ladies, y'all know what this film's about when I say it. You know, even some men too. I'm not even gonna just say ladies, but whoever is into this kind of movie, I'm gonna choose 365 Days.
I knew it.
You said it too when we were talking about it, and you said it, and I was like, no, it's not that movie. I'm talking about 50 Shades of Grey.
It's a very steamy movie for the ladies.
It's a very steamy, it's raunchy, it's spicy. Oh my goodness. For anyone that hasn't seen this movie, it's a Polish film. It follows Laura and Massimo. Laura goes to Italy to celebrate her birthday, and then turns out Massimo's actually part of a mafia, and he has to step up to the plate after his father dies and gets assassinated. He ends up kidnapping Laura and gives her 365 days to fall in love with him before he can let her go and whatnot. So it's just kind of one of those Stockholm syndromes kind of movies, you know, and I know some of y'all have that kind of fantasy of a Stockholm syndrome, especially if you got a guy looking like Massimo. Okay.
Oh, gosh.
I was talking to my husband about this, and my husband was just sitting there like, oh my goodness, like your reaction.
I think all guys are jealous of Massimo. That's probably what it is. But
that's probably what it is.
Dude is ripped in the film.
He is, and he's just handsome, and the way he controls the situation. There's scenes in this movie that are to be remembered. Like, there are scenes where like memes are created out of it and stuff like that because it's so spicy. And I know what scenes like y'all think I'm talking about. It's definitely gonna be the shower scene. Okay, so if you guys seen the movie, y'all know what I'm talking about.
All right, that's a good pick. That's a nice way to round out your list. I feel like you have the romantic comedies, you got the very rated R ones, and you got the classics in there.
A little bit of everything sprinkled in.
A little bit of everything. For my fifth pick, there's a bunch of ways I can go, because I mean there's The Notebook still out there, Keith. But I'm gonna go a romantic comedy that is my personal favorite that I think is hilarious, and I'm going Shallow Hal.
Shallow what?
Shallow Hal. Don't do that to me. With Jack Black.
Nope.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So, it's a rom-com. A guy named Hal is very shallow when it comes to women, but I think he's like some under a spell or something like that. And where he meets this 300-pound woman, and guys don't come after me, IMDb said that she was 300 pounds. And because of the spell, he literally can only see her as like this 120-pound petite woman. So he sees her for her inner self, and he loves this woman. She is gorgeous and beautiful. And then eventually the spell wears off, where he realizes that what he's been craving for so many years is the inner beauty, not just the outer beauty. And he starts to love her for her. And I think Jack Black does a great job delivering the comedy elements to this along with the romantic elements. So it goes back and forth, and it's just a cool concept and message to not everything is about the looks. Inner beauty can be just as beautiful, if not even more beautiful, and great message throughout the whole film. It's not a perfect film, and that's why I said this is my personal favorite. And I think it's a great rom-com.
So really loving someone based on the inside and the outside, loving for who they are.
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna check that movie out. That actually sounds really good.
All right, so let's just remind everyone what we had on our list. You had A Fault in Our Stars, Your Name, Edward Scissorhands, Dirty Dancing, and 365 Days. I had Titanic, A Walk to Remember, The Vow, Her, and Shallow Hal. Marissa, who do you think has the better list?
Look, every time we do these lists, people keep choosing you. Okay, except our horror list. It was like in the middle.
Yeah, I agree.
But I truly think, people, come on. I truly think that I have the better list.
You definitely have a diverse group of movies revolving around romantic films. I kind of went more of the basic route when it comes to like just them falling in love. But at the end of the day, I still think my list is a little bit better.
Oh, okay.
But we want to know what you guys think. If you like Marissa's list, if you like mine, whatever your thoughts are, leave them down in the comments down below.
And if you have any other suggestions on any other lists that you want us to see us do, please leave a comment down below so we can turn your idea into reality.
And thank you guys again for joining us today on Distant Critics.
Thank you.